Sophia led a charmed life, or so it seemed. Married to Mark, a successful architect, her days were a tapestry woven with comfort and routine. Their life together in their elegant suburban home was the envy of their friends. Dinners sparkled with laughter. Weekends were spent in quiet contentment.
I believed I had it all. Mark was my rock, dependable and loving. We had built a life on a foundation of trust and shared dreams. Our love story, though lacking in fireworks, was one of quiet understanding. A love that whispered rather than shouted.
Sophia cherished the predictability, the sense of security that enveloped her like a warm blanket. Yet, beneath the surface of this idyllic existence, a seed of discontent began to sprout. The routine, once comforting, now felt stifling. The predictability, once reassuring, now felt monotonous.
I found myself yearning for something more, a spark to ignite the embers of my soul.
It was at a charity gala that Sophia first encountered Julian. The room was filled with the city's elite, all dressed in their finest, the air buzzing with polite conversation and the clinking of champagne glasses. Sophia, a regular at such events, was used to the predictable faces and rehearsed smiles. But tonight something felt different. He was standing alone, a tall, enigmatic figure with piercing blue eyes and an air of quiet intensity. His presence was magnetic, drawing the attention of those around him without a single word. Julian seemed to be a man out of place, yet perfectly at ease in his solitude. Their eyes met across the crowded room, and Sophia felt an unfamiliar flutter in her chest. It was as if time had slowed, the noise of the gala fading into the background. She was captivated by his gaze, a silent conversation passing between them.
I'm Julian, an art dealer. His voice was smooth, with a hint of an accent that added to his allure. He extended his hand, and Sophia found herself shaking it, feeling a spark of electricity at the touch. I speak of lost masterpieces and forgotten artists, painting vivid pictures with my words. Julian's passion for art was evident, his eyes lighting up as he spoke. He had a way of making the past come alive, weaving stories that transported Sophia to another time and place.
Julian was a stark contrast to the familiar faces that populated Sophia's world. He was a breath of fresh air in a room that often felt stifling. His mysterious aura and the depth of his knowledge intrigued her, making her want to know more. He was exciting, dangerous, everything she was not. Sophia had always played it safe, adhering to the expectations of her social circle. But Julian represented a world of possibilities, a chance to break free from the mundane. Their connection was instant and undeniable. They spent the evening engrossed in conversation, oblivious to the rest of the gala. Julian's stories of adventure and discovery resonated with a part of Sophia she had long suppressed. They spent hours talking, lost in their own world. Each word, each shared glance deepened their bond. Sophia felt a sense of freedom she hadn't known she was missing, a liberation from the constraints of her carefully curated life.
Julian awakened a dormant part of me, he whispered, his voice filled with a mix of excitement and tenderness. His words were like a key, unlocking a door to a part of herself she had forgotten existed. A thirst for adventure and excitement I had forgotten existed. Sophia felt a rush of inspiration, a desire to explore the unknown and embrace the unexpected. Julian's presence was a catalyst, igniting a fire within her. He saw past my perfect facade, recognizing a kindred spirit yearning for more. Julian's gaze was penetrating, seeing through the layers of sophistication and poise to the real Sophia beneath. It was a connection that went beyond words, a meeting of souls.
Sophia found herself drawn to Julian like a moth to a flame, unable to resist the pull of his enigmatic charm. The allure of the unknown was too powerful to resist, a siren call that beckoned her to step out of her comfort zone. The allure of the unknown too powerful to resist. She was curious, eager to uncover the layers of mystery that surrounded him. Each encounter with Julian was a step into uncharted territory, a journey into the depths of her own desires. She knew it was dangerous, this pull she felt, but she was powerless to fight it. The rational part of her mind warned of the risks, but her heart was already lost. The thrill of the unknown was intoxicating, a heady mix of fear and excitement. For the first time in her life, Sophia felt truly alive. The world seemed brighter, colors more vivid, and every moment was filled with possibility. Julian had awakened something within her, a hunger for life that she could no longer ignore. Their initial encounters soon blossomed into a passionate affair. What started as innocent glances and fleeting touches quickly evolved into something much deeper, something neither of them could resist. The chemistry between them was undeniable, a magnetic pull that drew them closer with each passing day. Stolen moments in art galleries where they would lose themselves in the beauty of the art, finding solace in each other's presence amidst the masterpieces. Secret rendezvous in secluded cafes where they would share whispered conversations and stolen kisses, their hearts racing with the thrill of being together in such intimate settings. Their clandestine meetings fueled the flames of their desire, each encounter more intense than the last. The secrecy added an element of danger, making their time together even more exhilarating. Sophia was swept away by the intensity of it all, her emotions a whirlwind of passion and excitement. She felt alive in a way she never had before, every moment with Julian a new adventure. The thrill of the forbidden heightened her senses, making every touch, every glance, every word exchanged between them feel electric. It was as if she had been awakened from a long slumber, her senses now fully alive and attuned to the world around her.
Being with Julian was an escape from the predictability of my life. It was a chance to break free from the monotony and experience something new, something exciting. With him, I felt like a different person, someone who was bold and adventurous. He made me feel desired, cherished. Every gesture, every word, every look he gave me made me feel special, like I was the only woman in the world who mattered to him. He showered me with compliments and attention, making me feel beautiful and confident. It was a feeling I had never experienced before, and I found myself craving more of it, awakening a sensuality I never knew I possessed. With Julian, I discovered a side of myself that I had kept hidden for so long, a side that was passionate and free-spirited.
Sophia lost herself in the moment, allowing herself to be fully present and enjoy the time she spent with Julian. She laughed more, danced more, and felt more alive than she had in years. The guilt, a distant whisper drowned out by the pounding of her heart. She knew what she was doing was wrong, but the intensity of her feelings for Julian made it hard to care. Yet guilt gnawed at the edges of her happiness. In the quiet moments when she was alone with her thoughts, the reality of her situation would hit her, and she would feel a pang of regret. The more time she spent with Julian, the more Sophia was torn between her two worlds. She loved the excitement and passion she felt with him, but she also knew she couldn't ignore the life she had built with Mark.
The life I had built with Mark, the man who loved me unconditionally, felt like a distant memory. It was a life that was safe and comfortable, but it lacked the spark and excitement I found with Julian, a faded tapestry I could no longer recognize. The memories of my life with Mark seemed to blur and fade, overshadowed by the intensity of my feelings for Julian. The conflict raged within me, a constant battle between my love for Mark and the intoxicating passion I found with Julian. It was a struggle that consumed me, leaving me feeling torn and confused.
But as the days turned into weeks, the intensity of her feelings for Julian only grew stronger. The more time she spent with him, the harder it became to imagine her life without him. Sophia found herself increasingly drawn to the excitement, the thrill of being with Julian. It was a feeling she couldn't ignore, no matter how hard she tried. The undeniable thrill of living on the edge. It was a rush that made her feel alive, a feeling she couldn't get enough of. And so, despite the guilt and the conflict, she continued to see Julian, unable to resist the pull of their forbidden desires. One evening, while admiring a painting in Julian's gallery, Sophia found herself lost in the intricate details of a Renaissance masterpiece. The gallery was dimly lit, casting long shadows that danced across the walls, creating an almost ethereal atmosphere. The painting, with its vivid colours and lifelike figures, seemed to come alive under the soft glow of the lights. As she moved closer to get a better look, Sophia overheard a whispered conversation. The voices were hushed, almost conspiratorial, and she couldn't help but feel a sense of unease creeping up her spine.
My name, spoken with a coldness that sent shivers down my spine. It was as if the very sound of it was laced with venom. a stark contrast to the warmth and affection she had once felt. The realization that someone was speaking about her in such a manner was both terrifying and heartbreaking. She felt a chill run through her body, her heart pounding in her chest.
Hiding behind a sculpture, Sophia strained to hear more. The gallery, once a place of solace and beauty, now felt like a labyrinth of secrets and lies. She pressed herself against the cold marble, her ears straining to catch every word. The voices grew clearer, and she could make out Julian's unmistakable tone. Julian was speaking to another man, his voice a low murmur. The conversation was intense, filled with a sense of urgency and secrecy. His voice a low murmur, Julian's words were barely audible. But the intent behind them was clear. There was a plan, a scheme that was unfolding right before her eyes.
She's smitten, the perfect pawn. The words were like a dagger to her heart, each syllable dripping with malice and deceit.
He went on to explain his plan, a plan that revolved around Sophia and her husband's wealth. The details were intricate, a web of lies and manipulation designed to ensnare her. The painting, a stunning Renaissance masterpiece recently acquired by Mark for their collection, was the real target. It was a piece of art that held immense value, both financially and historically. The painting, with its rich history and exquisite craftsmanship, was the crown jewel of their collection. Julian's eyes were set on it, and he would stop at nothing to get his hands on it. Julian had no interest in Sophia's heart, only in using her to get close to the priceless artwork. His affection had been nothing more than a facade, a means to an end. His cunning and deceit were unparalleled, and he had played his part to perfection. Sophia had been nothing more than a pawn in his elaborate game.
He was the mastermind behind an art smuggling ring, a network of criminals who dealt in stolen masterpieces. His true nature was far darker than she had ever imagined, and I was merely a means to an end. The realization was like a punch to the gut, leaving her breathless and in tears.
Sophia's blood ran cold. The man she had trusted, the man she had given her heart to, was nothing but a con artist. The man she had given her heart to was nothing but a con artist, a master manipulator who had used her love to get close to her husband's prized possession. A master manipulator who had used her love to get close to her husband's prized possession. The depth of his betrayal was staggering, and it left her feeling utterly broken. The realization hit her like a physical blow, leaving her reeling in shock and disbelief. Her world had been turned upside down in an instant, leaving her reeling in shock and disbelief. She sank to the floor, her mind racing with the implications of what she had just heard. The gallery, once a place of beauty and inspiration, now felt like a prison of deceit and betrayal. The overheard conversation planted seeds of doubt in Sophia's mind. Julian's every word, every touch now felt calculated, rehearsed.
The man who had seemed so genuine, so passionate, was nothing but a carefully constructed facade.
She began to notice inconsistencies in his stories, discrepancies in his carefully crafted persona. His charm, once intoxicating, now felt suffocating, a web from which she desperately needed to escape. Fear replaced desire, the thrill of the unknown morphing into a chilling premonition.
I knew I had to tread carefully. Julian was dangerous, capable of anything to protect his secret.
She had to play his game, feigning ignorance while she gathered evidence of his deception. Her life, and possibly Mark's, depended on it. The weight of her secret knowledge was crushing. The life she thought she knew, the love she thought she felt, had all been a lie. Sophia was trapped in a dangerous game, and the stakes had just been raised.